if you want to look directly to them. Hello, hello, hello. Hey, you guys. Hey, Lips. It's your girl, Miss Mouthy. And if you are tuning in, you are listening to the Miss Mouthy podcast. I am so excited to be here. This podcast is all about the narratives and experience of trans and non binary folks and the allies that love and support us. So I know it's been a week. Y'all are adjusting to the new thing. So everybody is getting ready for the holidays and things of such. But this episode is sponsored by BTF and it is our Black Joy edition. It is a collective series of Black trans people coming and sharing their experience about what's currently bringing them joy. So I'm honored to be able to have my guest today talk about what her joy is as we move into the holiday season. So, with that being said, I'm currently doing a lot, you guys. I'm ending the Breaking Barriers program and leaving Corktown Health. So if you don't know, this week will actually be my last week there. But y'all can always get in contact with me, however y'all do through social media, and keeping up with the podcast. What I will say is this is just a transition period. I want to do more work around de-incarceration and like really highlighting the work that's going over in California. So that is the leadership role that I'm stepping into. And like people will still be at Corktown. So still go get your healthcare needs, go get everything you want. And the Breaking Barriers program will still go on. I'm gonna have somebody step in and fill in my shoes and take that thing to the next level. So if you know any women or non-binary folks who are interested in career placement, that is something that you can hit myself up with or somebody at Corktown Health and tell them, hey, I'm interested in the Breaking Barrier program. And they will connect you to the people that's necessary. We are having the Meals with Mouthy event coming up this Friday as well. I thought it would be good to have a dual purpose where we highlight our graduates from Breaking Barriers, but also have our holiday event too. So we could like encompass it all at one. And then I wanted to have those participants meet the people of like everyday community and let's all come together over an amazing meal. So the details is all on my social media if y'all all want to see. And I'm just so excited for now. Right now in the studio, we have some folks that is doing a documentary and that hopefully will come out soon and I'll give y'all more details. But special guest, can you introduce yourself for the people?
Hello, I am Journey.
Okay.
Hello, I am Journey.
Okay. So, Journey, I am so thankful that you came to do this with me because one thing I really wanted to be intentional around with this episode was our youth. I think you are the future. It is important to highlight y'all and like get y'all narratives. I don't know, oftentimes it's this hidden thing where people talk about the young girls versus the old girls, and it's just like there's no competition. But I do want to see what your experience like as a young trans woman is like. So currently, my first question is, what is bringing you joy in this current moment?
Um, I'm engaged.
Hey, that is big. Okay,
Um,
okay, per.
I also had a few job interviews recently.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
thinking about taking one as a secretary, so I like to type.
Nice.
Um, and I'm moving to my place soon, so I'm happy.
Okay. So a little backstory about how me and Journey met. Mouthy moment. Um, she came to us through Corktown, and I just fell in love with you as one of our participants with the Breaking Barrier, and it was just imperative. Like you are the prime example of what it means to be young and getting it. Okay, pushing through adversity and really showing up in a way that you never it's been 1 year and you literally did a whole 360 from last year to this year. Can I ask you what was some of the things that helped you get through it?
The group's at Corktown.
Hey, I didn't say it, y'all. I didn't say it.
Yeah, that's been the main thing, and also working on myself,
Yeah.
meditating more, sitting thinking about my actions before I do them.
Hey, that's big.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was something that really stood out with you in the Breaking Barriers program or something that you got from the group that kind of you kind of always go back to?
It's about this group, the one we doing now, right?
Yeah.
The budgeting part.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
because I am terrible at budgeting.
Yeah. So for y'all who may not know, it is a 6 to 8 week program where we give soft skills, but also talk about different topics that could really alleviate some of the barriers we know that trans and non-binary people face while obtaining employment. And one of the biggest things was highlighting budgeting, and that was not only impactful for Journey, but for myself as well. Like it's one thing to be able to tell, hey, get this, go out here and get a job, and getting a job will change your life. But when you get the job and you don't know what to do with your money, financial literacy comes in so important. And I think there needs to be more organizations and skill building things that happen to really make sure our young folks get that type of education around where to put their money. So I'm so glad that you stuck the program through. In times, was there ever a point you wanted to give up?
No.
Okay, okay. Word. I
Mm-mm.
love that because that makes me feel like the work that we started doing actually is making an impact, and I see it. Like I see it. You are totally not even the same woman that came through our doors a year ago, and now you're saying you're engaged. Like,
Yes.
how is it to be in love and young?
Crazy.
I can believe it. What kind? Good crazy?
Both.
Oh,
It's a
oh,
little.
okay, okay.
We argue a lot,
That's okay. I think
but it's okay.
okay for her.
But
W-
yeah,
What are the
it's
things that you
different.
like? Okay, so one of the biggest things I'm always thinking about when it comes to love, was it hard explaining your transness to him or no?
No,
Okay. Did that was that the defining factor on why you
that
wanted to?
was that made me happy
Okay.
because
Okay.
we never really had that conversation when we first met. So it was like I was kind of nervous. I'm like, okay, who can
Yeah.
I call for moral support for this situation?
Yeah.
I'm like, don't call nobody, just do it.
Yes.
And it was like when I did it, he was like, I already knew. I'm like,
Oh.
okay,
But you know how your heart be racing, like when you go through that
listen,
process of like, okay, is he gonna say yes or no or maybe?
listen. That was the part that was scaring me the most.
Yeah. Oh, and
Yes,
then that sigh of relief when it was just like that.
yes.
Okay, okay. What was the things that you were initially attracted to with him? Oh, girl. Well, it's mouthy after dark.
That was just, his aura. He
Okay.
has a good spirit. He's a
Yeah.
nice spirited person. And it seems like, for me to be so young, he don't try to take advantage of me and he really shows me that he
Yeah.
really care.
That's good. Okay, so you say you want to do you want to be a secretary, but what other passions do you have? Because I've been
Cosmetology.
okay, I was gonna say,
This is just for right now.
yeah,
The secretary job is going to be for right now. And I'm going to go to school.
yeah. See, that's the one thing that I love about you is that you actually have a goal on where you want for your future. So it's like, okay, we're gonna start this job to bring in the income. I want to do cosmetology because that's my passion. And you keep like, oh, I want to go to school. Those are good steps. You are in the right direction. So who have been some people that have kind of like helped you and assist you along the way when it comes to finding your way and in your journey?
You and Jaleesa.
Okay. Okay.
You, Jaleesa.
Okay.
Me and my relationship with my mom is getting better.
I love
So
that for you.
she's included.
Yeah.
My fiance, my sister. But I'm removing a lot of relationships out
Yeah.
of my life, but I'm also repairing old
Yeah.
ones.
I love that. Okay, so you touched on something that's really important to a lot of our youth, the relationship between you and your mom. What are some tips, if you may say, that you could give to a young person who may be having a resistance or an uncomfortable relationship with their parent?
Honestly,
Yeah, be honest.
what worked for me, I don't think it will work for everybody because
Okay.
I basically just let her go on and do her
Okay.
because it was like, if you're not going to respect me for who I am and you're not going to call me by my pronouns and
Yeah.
call me by my name, I'm just not going to deal with you. And it hurted her more than it hurt me. And she was being stubborn for a nice
Yeah.
little minute, but she coming around.
So what I'm hearing you say, correct me if I'm wrong, is like setting really strict boundaries with folks
Yes.
that you love about you're not wavering. This is who I am. I'm Journey, she, her, hers. And when you're ready to respect that, you can come back in.
Right.
Okay. That's fair. I'm loving that that is the way. Will she be able to come and be in attendance for the graduation?
I
Okay.
asked her about it.
Okay,
She said
good.
she can probably
Okay,
come.
good. I would love that. Oh, the holiday spirit. What type of things put you in the holiday spirit? What is bringing you your joy?
Girl, I be sleep.
Sleep is good. Sleep
That's
is joyful.
I was asleep like 5 minutes before I got here. I
Uh,
threw on some makeup and
yeah,
I
period.
threw
And you
on.
did it, and I appreciate that.
It's like honestly, I just been sleeping a lot lately.
Hmm. I think this is the season for it. It's just kind of like it's darker, quicker.
Baby, I
The
be sleep.
the days go longer.
It seemed like when it get dark, you would think it's already like 9, 10 o'clock. It is 6 o'clock.
Okay, so take us back. We know that you are young and yet you want to argue, but the younger journey, how did you come to realize who you were, or like how did you know that you wanted to become Journey? How did you go on the journey to be Journey?
I was
Ooh,
always Journey. I was
okay,
playing like I was not the child that my mother was
okay,
looking for.
right,
She already knew. My
right,
grandma knew. Everybody knew. So it was like, when it finally
happen,
boom,
yeah,
everybody was just shocked. I'm like, what y'all shocked for? Y'all
yeah,
already knew this.
yeah,
And it was like me picking my first ever name, I feel like was the hardest part.
okay.
Because
Tell
my
us
name
about it.
was Elias Santois Hernandez.
Oh,
And
you
I just
say,
threw something together. But it was hard
oh, okay. So what? How? Like, what was the defining factor for Journey? How did you settle in on Journey?
because my mom was like, can you at least keep a J? Because
Oh
my
yes.
mom is a J, all her
Okay.
kids are J. So she's like, can you at least keep a J? And I mixed her name and my godfather's name.
Okay.
And Joy and Rodney, and I came up in the middle and made Journey.
I love that. That is so cute.
Yes.
So that's funny because I kind of got a tradition like that because my mom name begins with a P. I've named my child's middle name with a P, and hopefully it's a tradition that just happens where all of us middle names start with a P in honor of my mom. So I can get why your mom is like, can you at least just pick a J?
I'm like, at first, I'm like,
It's your
and it
legacy.
was like, I went ahead and met her in the middle.
Yeah,
And it's like, Journey fits me because I
yeah.
done been on a,
I think you're the only Journey I
a
know.
big one.
Yeah, you're the only
It's
Journey I
been a
know.
rough little ride.
Oh, and thank you to everybody that is tuning in on Facebook and YouTube. Um, what has been the best thing about coming to your authentic self? Like, what does it mean for you now to like show up fully as Journey?
I am happy.
Yes. Can you tell us the story about when your name got legally changed?
Oh, yes. It was like, I knew I was going through the process, but it was like when I finally got my papers, I just broke down crying because it
Yeah.
was like, this is it.
This is real. Yeah, this is
It's
what I always
happening.
wanted.
So it was like, me getting my papers, I cried for about an hour.
Aw,
I cried when I got my papers and I cried driving home.
yeah.
I cried the whole way home.
I remember when you called me and you was like, I cried. And I was like, oh,
Because I was so
congratulations.
happy. It was like, finally.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a big step.
Do you know that I see your future being really, really bright because of you're so young, you're so talented, and you you will not quit.
No.
And that's the thing that's gonna carry you so far. So like it is really important when I do this work, when I think about the young folks, this might be me. When I think about the young folks, it's always hopefully modeling a behavior that y'all can like follow behind. But I want to create opportunity and support y'all in a way. Like as y'all elder, as the generation that come before y'all, that's the least that I can do is like how do I show up for them in a way that like gives them another option.
Right.
So yeah, we didn't had our conversations and what I love about you is that you whether you believe it or not, you have tamed your triggers and your attitude, you've come a long way.
I have.
What helped with that? Yeah, you can say
Oh,
everything.
listen, I be smoking a little weed.
Yes,
It keeps me calm because
and it's
somebody,
real.
like I told you about the situation last week, somebody stole my car.
Yeah,
I woke up to go to the store.
I really think it's a sting in Detroit that's happening because my car got stolen as well.
I'm like, well, I started scratching my head because I thought I was, maybe I was still asleep. I pinched myself a few times.
Right.
I was woke. How did y'all take my car and I have my keys? So that all that could have meant is y'all hotwire my car.
Oh,
So this is the crazy thing. Y'all stole my car and went and parked it 2 streets away. And I
same,
didn't put no gas in the car on purpose. So I think they ran out of gas.
same, same.
Yes, I
I'm
got my
glad you
car
got it
back,
back.
but they got into a little accident in it. It's not super bad. It can be
But
fixed, but I'm gonna just have to get a whole nother back door.
uh, okay. But yes, greater things is to come. And like,
Yes.
what I want to say is how you have been able to show other people. Myself, I'm learning from you a lot. You have shown me how to never like second guess yourself. Like from the day that you came to us at Corktown, you had already knew like I'm about to do XYZ. I'm about to get to, so to see you here at this point where you like in your place, you got a car, you're about to get a job. Like let me give you your flowers because
Yes.
all of that means something. In a world that tells you that you can't or you
You
won't be
can't do it, or it's not possible. Anything is possible as long as you put your mind to it.
okay. Ugh, that makes me happy. So, where do you see yourself in the next, let's say, a year from now? Like, where do you see yourself?
Out of Detroit.
Okay, that's real. You better, if you know, like I know,
It's like, of course I love Detroit. It is my birthplace, but
to go to the next level. I think that's the one thing we all recognize, and is that like to be taken serious or to give it a chance, right? Like you might have to move away from home and all that you
yeah.
know. Yeah,
And I definitely see myself having a couple of
you
kids.
want
I want to
babies?
adopt
Okay, how many babies you want? Oh, you said a lot.
like 8 of
Oh,
them.
really? 8
Yes.
babies.
Yes. I want a mini
Oh,
league football team.
okay.
I want to drive a minivan to work every
I love that for you. Hi, everybody. Hey, Trio. Hey, Sheila. Um, I think that's important. How do you navigate the world when it tells you that you can't be able to like show up fully or like let's say before you got your name changed. So this is I want to paint a picture for the people who may be listening what it could be like for why legal name changes and documentation makes such a difference
day.
for people. How were you navigating the world prior before your name change?
I went to a job interview at Wendy's.
Hmm.
And, I wrote the name on the paper
Yes.
and I circled.
Hmm. Do
Hmm.
what we all like to circle. Mhm.
Right. So he looked, he said,
Oh no.
are you sure you're the right person? Is that your name on it? I said, yeah. He said, so, oh.
Mm.
He told me he let me go to orientation. I had to go all the way to Taylor for
Mm.
orientation. So, oh, we're gonna call you in. I think he said like 3 to 5 business days. I never got the call back, and that Wendy's was directly down the street from my house.
Yeah.
So it was like that was
You
kind of hard. It was like I was ready to give up at that point, but I didn't because you know anything is possible
yeah.
as long as you keep your mind to it, set a goal, and stick to it. You can do it.
So this is why people need to understand why documentation is so important. When people only see you for what they perceive and then you have to force to out yourself as a trans person, it makes your it makes your access to being able to get the resources you need, whether job, house, whatever, it makes it for people to discriminate against you just on the bias of what they now know about you.
Right.
Yeah, like if you didn't know this name and this gender marker prior to, you would have got that job. But because he was in a position of power and he could decide nay or yay, he decided nay. Yeah.
Right.
Mm, motherfucker. If you could, in a perfect world, okay, in a perfect world, what would it look like for? What would be something you would want for our community?
Mm, I would have to say better housing situations
Mm,
because yeah, Detroit has a few here and there, but it's very scarce.
mm-hmm.
So that would be my main
Yeah.
thing is the housing.
Yeah. So, one thing that I talked about was about how they be doing them stings here. And
Mm,
yeah, what does those things look like when it comes to, because we can't negate the fact that trans women, a lot of us have to do sex work.
all right.
And what does that look like when you're constantly targeted for doing something to survive and then thrown in jail
It's
for it?
horrible
Yeah.
because they basically will text you or call you and make it seem like, oh, I got this much. I want to
Mm-hmm.
do this. You give them a price. That's kind of where you messed up at.
Yeah.
When you named a price, you agreed to the deal.
Yeah.
I didn't know, they can touch you and you still go to jail.
Oh, really?
Yes, I was definitely touched. And
Mm.
it was like,
So they get the
they just can't have any, they can't
penetration,
penetration. They can't penetrate you. So
but they
they can
can
touch
violate
you.
you in other ways and fetishize you, but they can't.
They cannot.
Wow.
So it was like, that is scary. Cause like they come in a million deep with the situation with me. They came with assault rifles. Nobody had a
Hmm.
handheld gun. You would thought I hurt
Yeah.
somebody.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
What's going on?
I'm just stuck. I couldn't even ask them no questions. I was
Yeah.
just sitting there shaking because it was like,
Ugh.
wait a minute.
Yeah.
And it's like that was not the first time. That was the most recent time.
Mm.
But, the first time I was 15 years old
Mm.
and it was not the police, it was the FBI.
Really?
Oh, yes. I had to sit at the 12th precinct for almost 8 hours until I answered some type of question. And I was just sitting there and it was like, you're not going home until you.
And what do they want to know from you?
Basically, I got set up in this thing.
Mm.
Somebody play like,
Yeah, they
whoop
wanted to
de
date.
doo. So I get in the car with him. He like, we had to go to the gas station. Woo woo woo. Okay. At that point, mind you, I'm not telling him I'm 15.
Right.
So all I know is I see three black F-150s with the lights in the front of the car. I'm like,
Mm.
okay, this the police. Should I get out? Should I just jump out and run?
Right.
What should I do? Because it's like the police are a little rough when it
Yeah.
comes to our community. So they snatched him through the window, playing a role, like they was looking
Mm.
for him, and they was really looking for me.
Oh
They
wow.
made me sit at the 12th precinct. I think for it was like 8 hours, a whole shift. Oh, is somebody pimping you out? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, well, this question, this question. If you don't tell us the name, you're not going home. I'm the name. So it was like I had nothing to tell y'all.
Yeah.
And I also put an older girl that I do know in a predicament because I was at her room. So it
Mm.
was like, it was a lot.
But that's the thing is like people see it from one angle, not understanding that you probably was in her room because y'all was sharing a room, right?
Right.
Exactly. And like you said with the housing situation, those are very key components when it comes to our community being there for one another.
Right.
So it's like you're not of the community. You don't know how we support and show up for each other, but you deliberately goes out of your way to target a particular group of people, right? So, what is the conditions like in jail? And the only reason why I'm bringing this up, y'all, is because I'm really concerned with my girls. I'm really like that. Like, if we got a rapport where we talk all the time, so Journey coming to group every week, she's in there, she participating. Then all of a sudden, I don't hear anything Nothing. And I'm like, what the hell? So now I'm asking, I'm looking on her social media. I'm like,
When you
because
don't
that
see
mean
me
one or two
post,
things. And I just couldn't in my mind, I'm like, Journey don't do nothing, she don't bother nobody. So jail was the furthest thing from my mind. I'm like, oh, people go missing all the time. People hurt us all the time. So I'm like, I just hope this young baby is not harmed or dead. So weeks is going by and I'm like, where is Journey?
I was in Oakland County Jail.
Yeah, yeah.
It was horrible,
Ugh,
terrible. I
I can
had to
imagine.
fight to get my hormones because they was like, "Oh, we can't give you estrogen shots in here."
Mm-mm.
And then it was like, I asked them to move me by myself. I did not want to be over there with the general population.
Right.
They put me with the general population anyway. I got into a couple of fights because it's like, you're not gonna just put your hands on me.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are.
But why would like they were just because you was different. They just wanna
Baby, I had a 30-inch hot pink wig in my head.
period. Period.
They was like, do your hair come out? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Let's tuck the combs under my braids in the back of the police car because
Yeah.
I will not be coming up off this 30. So it was like, it was hard.
What kind of trauma do you feel like that left?
I don't like being behind closed doors.
Mm-hmm.
Like being behind a closed door setting, it bothers me.
Yeah.
Especially at nighttime. It's like my boyfriend tried to close the door. I open it
Okay.
immediately because it's
That's
like
good to know.
I told him about, like, we talked about why I don't like,
Yeah.
being behind a damn closed door. And it was like in Oakland County Jail, they're very racist. I
Mm.
got tased like twice in there.
Wow.
I was once because they had basically, it was this one deputy there. He had said something very derogatory. So I'm not a morning person.
Right.
I don't like being woke up out my sleep. I don't care if I was in the hospital. Don't tap me.
Don't.
Don't touch me. Don't wake me up. Because I will, if looks could kill, you will be dead.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to give you an evil stare.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, the boy in this room. I said, I am a girl. I woke up immediately, went off the handle.
I'm so sorry.
He basically told them that I threatened him, and they put me in what is called belly chains. It's like something, it's like a handcuff that go around your waist, and your hands are like this. So you
Mm.
can't really go
At all.
anywhere. I had to, every time it was time for me to leave the unit, I had to put those on. They tased me while I had the shackles on. Talking about I was resisting and being aggressive. I was about to slip onto water and I was trying to step over it. And it was like, they knew that.
Mm-hmm.
But they wanted to pick, and he was like, oh, you're resisting? And they all piled on top of me. It's like 8 of y'all.
Yeah.
It didn't take that
It
much. And
just
then
me.
on top of that, y'all tased me.
Yeah.
How did y'all think I was gonna act if 80 y'all just jumped on top of me?
Hmm. If you could tell maybe sergeants, judges, people what needs to happen in order to treat trans people fairly while incarcerated, what would you have to say? Oh, go ahead. Okay, so Journey gonna step away from second important business. It's money on the line. I'm gonna carry it. Um, oh yeah, take it out in the hallway so they don't hear your combo. So yeah, one of the biggest things too with the Miss Mouthy, we got JMO catering event is catering, and also my friend Arlisha is catering the meals with Mouthy. This is our second annual event. What I feel like I'm most excited for is because we have a new venue we're doing it at. Normally we do it at Minjo's, but this year we will be doing it at CMC event rental space. It's on West 7 Mile. So if you know, you know, it is the lit space that you want to be in and have all your events. Please come, y'all. Like if you just want to come have a meal, even if you don't want to eat, if you know somebody who could benefit from it, cool. If you just want to talk your shit with me, just come. Let's just have a good time in community. Like I miss being in community spaces where we can get together right before the holidays and really just celebrate each other. And more than anything, I would love for y'all to embrace and love on my participants that have graduated, that steered the course these 8 weeks of the Breaking Barrier program. and really let them tell you what it was like to be a part of the program. And so, you okay? Everything good? Okay. So we're gonna pick back up. Oh, boom. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So Joy, we understand that we were the last question was about what conditions could they change for housing trans people to make, well, being in jail is not good at all for nobody, but
To more accommodate.
yeah,
I feel as if, you know, they should have a unit in every jail specifically for the LGBTQIA community,
yeah,
especially when it comes to safety.
right,
Because I was attacked, and they're just for being who I am.
yeah,
And it was like, I asked them to move me. They was like, "You're in a single cell now. You don't need to be moved." We still, see each other. We're
yeah,
on the same unit.
yeah,
So it's like, it's a lot of stuff I feel like should definitely be brought up more and
mm,
talked about when it comes to jails because it is Wayne County, okay, they little ain't shit, but
yeah,
at least they have, some type of resources for the LGBTQIA community, as
yeah.
such as like a pod specifically for us. Wayne County, I meant no. Macomb County, horrible. Oakland County, horrible.
Mm,
They
they don't care.
no, they
Do
had
you think it's
me.
rooted in racism?
Yes,
Okay,
and then they had me in a holding cell for 4 days with
okay,
over 30 men. So it was like, my nerves was bad
bad, definitely.
because it was like, when you first come in, get booked in. We never made it upstairs to like, the living situation. We were all in holding. They had me in the room like 36 other people. And it
Mm,
was like, I was very uncomfortable. This man was eating an apple, touching himself, looking at me. So I was like,
mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm.
want to go home.
No, for real.
I think that was at Macomb County Jail. I had, I think, like $30 left on my phone from the last time I went to jail. It was like, I called everybody I could think of. Anybody number I could remember, I called. Come and get me. My bond is a personal. They letting me go for free. Come get me.
And to all of the people who may be listening and passing judgment, right? Why is it that, like, how did you, not how did you, but why was it really survival for you to do sex work to end up getting criminalized for those things? Like, I don't think people understand how they place trans people in a situation, whether it's like life or death, and then when we choose to live, we still get incriminated for it. So
I had to make a decision at a young age. My mom put me out her house. She was the type of person
yeah,
that'll put me out and be like, calling the police. She put me on the news in 2018 after
yeah,
she put me out.
yeah,
Somebody I just disappeared and it's not like me. So it's like I had to think of something and I didn't know nothing about that. I
right.
met an older guy and his boyfriend. It was like, why don't you do this? I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah,
I don't know nothing about that. I am 15. I
yeah.
was just barely starting to talk to boys.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, well, I'm gonna show you where it's at. All I can do is show what he said. I can lead you to the water. I can't make you drink.
Mm,
My first night out there, an older girl tried to cut my face, and I told her I didn't want to be twins, and she chased
mm,
because it was like, I have a very, I still have my moments when I have a smart mouth,
yeah,
but it was like back then I didn't care.
yeah.
I really didn't value life.
No, that's
Because a
real.
lot of the stuff that I was doing, somebody could have harmed me
Yeah.
and not thought twice about it.
But the good thing is that you were kept. You know what I mean? A lot of us women be put in situations where we choose ultimately us, but we just all have different outcomes, you know? Some more fatal than others, but I need people to recognize that it's not a time to judge anybody if you don't know somebody's story. This baby was 15 years old. So no 15-year-old should have to experience that. And that goes out to all the parents out here listening, even if your child is not a part of the LGBT community, there could be something that your child is experiencing at a very young age that you might want to be hip to. So, Joy, you looking forward to an engagement. You have come a long way, even though you had
Yes.
those negative experiences. You have survived them, and I want you to know to like continue to push forward, to continue to thrive, because you got time on your hands. You know what I mean? You got the rest of your life to decide from the things that you made your choices. And that's the thing that I appreciate. You made your choices, and it's what you made after learning those lessons that I commend you for.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I will honestly say a lot of people in our community, are shady. They told me I wasn't gonna make it this far.
Yeah.
A lot of them told me I was gonna be dead at about 16.
Hmm.
I'll be 20 in April.
Yeah. Amen.
So it's like, I'm surviving, I'm pushing through, I'm making it work.
Yeah.
You know, life is not easy. It did not come with a
Yes.
guidebook, rule book. It's hard.
Hmm.
But I will honestly say you just gotta stay strong and keep your head space together.
Yes.
If you have to meditate, walk away, take a break. It's okay to take a break.
Yes.
I had to learn that for myself because I was the type of person I let it, just bottle it up.
Hmm.
And when I finally go off, I'm sitting in someone's jail. And that's not a
Right.
place that I like to be.
Yeah. And for the older people, myself included, um, we have to be more of a role model for y'all. We need to be people who you can trust and confide in, the people who can support you. Because support don't always look like financial. Like that's what I need people to understand.
You're
But
absolutely
there
right.
are a lot of things that we can pass down to our younger girls that we forget. We let them slip into the crack, and we don't allow opportunity for them to show up as their full selves. So I'm just thankful that whatever you got from breaking barriers, you took it and you ran with it, and you were able to like make the most out of it. Continue to do that. Like that is going to be the philosophy to life. If you take what's offered and you make the most out of it and you run with it, you're going to be good. And know that I'm around for a connection outside of Corktown whenever you need. I'll be
She
there.
about to leave us.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm
The
just about
group's
to
not gonna be the same.
yeah, but the good
Jaleesa
thing you
left.
graduating.
Listen, y'all need to do one more group. I like it. I be having a good time.
Yeah.
And it's like Jaleesa already gone. And you leaving next week.
But you know what? You know what you supposed to do? Step up.
I think I want to make my own little group.
Yeah. And
But
and that's how it starts. That's the seed.
it's a little hard.
Okay. And I'm here to figure it out with you
Yes.
and support you, and that's just what it is. That's how we continue to do it.
I want a group just for younger girls though. Let's we can all teach each other a lot. We can learn a lot from each other. We can guide each other, help each other
Hmm.
in certain areas that we lack in. Because nobody's perfect. Everybody is lacking in
Yeah.
one thing or
Or
another.
another. Period.
So it's like I feel like a group with just younger girls, it would prosper.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm help Journey through her younger girl group and all of that good stuff. So tell the people if you want to be found,
Um,
where they can find you.
my my
Yeah.
Facebook is Journey Williams,
Okay.
JOURNII Williams. Change his Instagram
Yeah. I
name. My
surprisingly I
Instagram.
don't change my Instagram name.
Listen,
Yeah.
baby, I change it like I change
Your wigs.
clothes.
Okay. Period.
MVENVYY _journey JOURNII.
All right. Is there anything else that the people need to know about Journey? Okay, you coming. You about to come to the heat.
I'm a fun person.
Yeah.
I can be difficult at times. I know.
You human.
But overall, I feel like I didn't came a long, long, long way. Because my anger, I want to say 2 years ago, we about to bust windows out. We
Yeah.
about to do it big.
Yeah.
But it's like now Is it? I ask myself, is it really worth it?
Yeah.
Because it's like a lot of the situations I went off in, it could have been
Yeah.
walked away from. Like, you know, I did not like kids a couple years. I did not, couldn't stand the sight of
And
them.
now
I
you
don't
on
want to
8.
hear them. Because it's like my mama had a 19-year-old, then an 18-year-old, and now she has a 6-year-old.
Yeah.
Why did you wait so long? So it's like, it's kind of hard.
Yeah.
And my little brother's spoiled. So
Aw. Well, this is y'all know Meals with Mouthy is this Friday from 4 to 7. You will see all the lovely participants from Breaking Barriers there. We will be there. To keep up with me, you can follow me on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram. Tonight, actually, I'm putting out my first vlog, which I'm super excited for. Um, and just the progression of as we end this year, I wanted to make sure that I end this year strong and start the new year off even stronger. It is girls like Journey that reminds me why I do Mouthy. She is the epitome of like what I'm proud to know that I put my energy to. I can't wait to see your journey and where you grow into become because it's girls like you that makes it possible for like women like me to believe in ourselves to know that like we paving the way for y'all. So we hold the responsibility as y'all elders to continue to keep fleshing this out. So y'all can follow me until next time. Even when you what? Don't see me, you hear me. Bye.